Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy have descended into a canyon on Venus to rescue a wounded space pilot. As they reach the injured man, a flash flood roars down the river, piling water up behind the dam above them.
We gotta get him out of here quickly, Happy. The water's rising fast.
Once we get him to the ledge, we shouldn't have any trouble carrying him to the top.
It's a landslide. Press close to the dam. Keep your head down.
Smoking rockets, that was close.
Hurry. We gotta get him up the path. There may be another landslide.
Commander, look up there. Most of the ledge is swept away. We're trapped.
We'll be back in just a moment with today's Space Patrol story, The Mysterious Meteor. Do you hear that, gang? That's the Terra Express train trying to get up speed on ordinary fuel. Not very speedy, is it? But now listen to that same train with super fuel in its tank. Yes, sir, that train's really traveling now because it's supercharged with super fuel. And, gang, without a good breakfast, you can't go very fast either. But with super fuel in your tank, you're supercharged. Here's how Buzz Corey gets up a head of steam in the morning. He has a good breakfast with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex, the super cereals that help to supercharge you. For taste, they're terrific. And for size, they're perfect because they both have that modern bite-sized design. So, gang, get off to a quick start in the morning the way Buzz Corey does. Get supercharged. Just eat a good breakfast with the Checkerboard Super Cereals and get them today in the red and white checkerboard packages. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. One of the 30th century's greatest achievements has been the transformation of barren desert areas on the planet Earth into rich, fertile farmlands. Buzz, Happy, and Major Robertson are in one of those regions now, completing inspection of a new spaceport at the Arizona city of New Arcadia, center of a thriving agricultural district. While Robbie is finishing up a few details in the city, Buzz and Happy have taken a surface car for a drive out in the country.
Commander, look at that, another meteor.
Must be fairly low in the atmosphere.
Hey, it must be a whopper, too. Wow, did you see that?
It got so hot it exploded.
And what a flash. It lit up the whole countryside.
Quite a show.
I never saw one like that before. Oh, look, there's another one.
Well, the Earth must be passing through a meteor shower.
Hey, it looks like it's coming right at us.
Well, when this one explodes, it ought to make quite a display.
It better explode pretty quick before it hits. Hey, Commander, it looks like it's headed right for the city. Commander, it hit. It landed right in New Arcadia.
Well, they're pretty deceptive, Happy. It could have struck several miles beyond. We'd better get into town. If it did land there, it'd be a terrible catastrophe.
We're getting close, Commander. There's a whole area roped off up there. And the people are jammed around it.
Yeah, we'll have to stop here and get out, Happy. We can't get through the crowd with this surface car.
Hey, look. There's Major Robertson.
Commander, I'm glad you're here.
What happened, Robbie?
A meteor landed right in the middle of the park.
Anybody hurt?
No, by a lucky chance. But a few people got showered with dirt, and a couple of hundred got the scare of their lives.
Well, how big is the meteor?
It's hard to tell. Dug a crater about 20 yards wide. The meteor's way down the bottom of a deeper pit, glowing and red hot.
Let's get through this crowd and have a look.
Right, Commander. All right, make way, please. Space Patrol coming through.
What a crowd.
Now, there she is.
Hey, it looks like a huge red eye.
We don't know how large it really is. Part of it's buried by the dirt that fell back into the pit.
Look at the size of the crater, Robbie. A miracle it landed where it did. A very lucky miracle.
Well, they're bringing up the Tomo power shovel now.
Well, aren't they going to wait until it cools off before they try to pull it out?
Professor King wants to uncover it so he can make some tests.
Professor King?
Yes, sir. Professor James King, the meteorite expert.
Hold it right there. Hold it.
That's the professor shouting at the shovel operator. Professor King's been lecturing at the university here.
Oh, I recognize him now. I met him a couple of years ago on Mercury.
Well, apparently he's seen you. Here he comes.
Commander Corey, isn't this most fortunate?
Oh, hello, Professor. Yes, it is fortunate. It could have been a terrible calamity.
Exactly. If I had followed my usual custom, I would have been home in my study. But something urged me to go for a stroll. And I was only half a block from the park when this green streak rolled out of the sky.
I was thinking it might have killed someone.
That would have been tragic, of course. But think of it. A rare meteor falling right at my feet, so to speak. Commander, do I have your permission to test it?
Of course.
Thank you. I already examined it for radioactivity.
How does it test?
Well, it's rather high, but not unusually so for an object that has spent millions of years in outer space.
It's not dangerous, then?
Oh, no, except that right now it's rather hot from the friction of the atmosphere. The shovel operator is going to scoop away some of the dirt so I can check its size. Would you care to watch?
Of course, Professor King. Oh, by the way, this is Cadet Happy.
How do you do, sir?
Oh, glad to know you, Cadet. Your first meteor?
Well, not quite.
Happy's quite a few experiences with meteors in space.
Oh, of course.
Now, here comes the first scoop.
Get back! The meteor exploded.
No, it didn't. It's still glowing.
Yeah, but look at the shovel.
You mean, look where it was. That huge scoop is gone. The cables are just hanging there.
What could have caused it, Professor?
I don't know, Commander. The meteor is hot, but not hot enough to melt a steel shovel. To say nothing...
Weren't hit by the hot metal.
Professor, you'd better leave that meteor alone till we get this crowd cleared away.
Yes, Commander, you're right.
Robbie, have the local patrol keep everybody out of the park except the professor and men on official duty.
Yes, sir.
And, Professor, I suggest you get an endurium scoop on that power shovel. You better wait till that meteor cools off a little more.
Good suggestions, Commander. I'll follow them.
Robbie, put a guard around the crater. I don't know what we've got here, but this is no ordinary meteor.
It's going to be a hot day, Commander.
Yes, but it was cool last night. I hope the meteor has lost most of its heat.
Oh, I see Professor King is already at the crater.
And with his power shovel, and a lot of paraphernalia, it seems.
Good morning, Commander.
Good morning, Professor.
Well, I made a few tests.
What did you find out?
The object has cooled considerably, although it's far too hot to touch.
Well, I wouldn't advise touching it at all till we know a lot more about it.
I managed to make a spectrographic analysis of it. It seems to be of ordinary meteorite composition, chiefly iron and nickel. The colors show a fair percentage of cobalt, copper, magnesium, and the common gases.
Did you find anything to account for what happened to the steel scoop?
No, young man. There were no unusual elements present. At least, none have shown up. Commander, I'd like to dig that meteor out and have it shipped to Terra for a thorough test.
It might be a pretty heavy load for a spaceship.
Oh, I don't think so. I was able to make some magnetic detection tests. There isn't much more of it underground. It should only weigh about 500 pounds.
Well, hand me that case, Happy. Before we start that endurium shovel, Professor, let's make a few simple tests.
What kind of tests?
We saw what happened to that hard steel last night, so I brought a few small samples of different metals. I thought we might toss them down on the meteor and see what would happen.
It's an excellent idea.
Let's go down into the crater a little farther.
Fine.
Well, not too close, Happy. We can hit it from here.
Yes, sir.
Here's a piece of steel. Try that first.
Right, Commander. I hope my aim is good. It's gone. Vanished.
Why, that fragment disintegrated.
Yes. From here, it looks like it chipped a piece out of the meteorite.
What'll we try next?
Here's a lump of nickel, Happy.
Okay. Smoking rockets, that's gone, too.
Incredible.
Well, Commander, if it destroys everything that touches it, well, why doesn't it just sink into the ground?
Apparently, it doesn't disintegrate soil. Now, try this piece of endurium.
All right, sir. Hey, nothing happened. The endurium is just lying there on top of the meteor.
Well. Now at least we know we can dig the meteor out. with an endurium shovel.
Yes, but don't forget, if you're going to move that object, it'll have to be packed in an endurium box.
That's right. Well, we'll need a box about 3 feet thick on each side, perhaps a little thicker, just to be sure.
Good idea.
Oh, I can hardly wait to get it to my laboratory on Terra so that extensive tests can be made.
Well, you better not try it with any expensive instruments.
It's going to be a difficult object to handle, all right.
Professor, we'll leave you now. Happy and I have got to get back to local Space Patrol headquarters and clean up a few details.
All right, Commander. Thank you both for your help.
I'll have one of my men get a truck and an endurium crate. Professor, I'd like to see you at Space Patrol headquarters before you blast off.
Commander.
Come in, Professor.
Oh, I'll get you a chair, Professor Case.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, not at all. Won't you sit down? Have any trouble with your metal-eating monster?
No, it's packed in an endurium crate with another ordinary crate around that. And it is now at the new Arcadia spaceport.
So you're ready to go to Terra and solve the mystery?
Commander, I think I have already solved it.
Well, do you know what makes it destroy steel and nickel?
Well, that meteorite will destroy any substance that it contains within itself.
But how? Other meteors don't do that.
Well, Dr. Rawlins and I have come to the same conclusion. We believe this meteor is matter in reverse.
Matter in reverse?
Yes. Matter entirely foreign to our part of the universe. It may have come originally from a galaxy millions of light years away, where matter is formed in an entirely different way.
But you said it appears to be iron and nickel and other substances with which we're familiar.
Yes, that's how it appears. But the atomic structure of each element is in exact reverse. Matter in our solar system has atoms with negatively charged electrons whirling around a positive nucleus.
And this meteor has a negative nucleus with positive electrons.
Exactly. For years, scientists have speculated about the possibility of such matter. Now we know it exists. Perhaps whole galaxies are made of it.
But I still don't see why it destroys other metals.
Well, that's only half of the story, Cadet. Part of the meteor is destroyed, too, in another form of atomic explosion. The two forms of matter cancel each other out.
They neutralize each other.
Precisely. Atom for atom. Commander, if we can learn to duplicate that process, we're on the threshold of a new era.
Excuse me, Commander.
Oh, Major Robertson.
Yes, Robbie?
I'm glad the professor's here, sir. There's been a mix-up at the spaceport. That meteor was put aboard the wrong spaceship.
What?
Well, there's nothing to be upset about. Freight dispatcher traced it. It's aboard a cargo ship carrying mining equipment to Venus.
Commander, we have to overtake that ship.
I know, Professor. Robbie, if that meteor should come in contact with a large body of iron or steel, such as a building, it would cause an explosion that would kill or injure everyone around it.
We'll be back with Space Patrol in just a moment. Gang, here's the story of a cosmic surface car in trouble. Listen. The trouble? It's got nothing to go on but ordinary fuel. But you hear that? The driver's filling up the tank with some super fuel. Something's gonna happen now. Boy, that cosmic surface car is really roaring. That's because it's supercharged with super fuel. And the same is true with you, gang. What happens when you don't have a good breakfast? You're just a putt-putt. But when you fill up your tank with super fuel, man, you're supercharged. Here's how Buzz Corey does it. He eats a good breakfast with a checkerboard super cereal, rice checks, or wheat checks. Wait till you taste them, gang. Boy, are they good. Flavor galore in every crisp, bite-sized biscuit. So, gang, get going. Eat a good super cereal breakfast and get supercharged. Get the super cereals today, rice checks, wheat checks. While Buzz, Happy, and Major Robertson were in Arizona on the planet Earth, a strange meteor hurtled out of the sky and buried itself in a city park. Attempts to dig it up resulted in steel digging tools being disintegrated in a blinding flash. So far, only the metal endurium has resisted the strange destructive force. It's now believed that the meteor is composed of matter with reversed electrical charges, matter from outer space that can destroy matter as it's known in our solar system. By mistake, the Endurium crate containing the meteor was put aboard the wrong ship. Right now, Buzz and Happy are aboard the Terra 5, racing to overtake the cargo ship carrying mining equipment and the strange meteor to Venus.
Happy, keep the freighter in the view scope.
Yes, Commander. Hey, if he's headed for Venus City, he's losing altitude pretty fast.
That's been worrying me, Hap. I'll contact him again by spaceophone. Commander Corey aboard Terra 5 calling cargo ship EC-349. Commander Corey to pilot Bill Craig aboard cargo ship EC-349.
Craig here. Go ahead, Commander.
I was just wondering why you're coming in so low.
I wanted to tell you, but I've been too busy to call, Commander.
I'm sure you know your business, but those Torlock Mountains aren't exactly anthills.
You bet they aren't. Believe me, I'd enjoy being about 3 miles higher.
Having trouble with your ship?
Yes, sir. I came into Venus atmosphere on automatic trajectory control, and the control's out of adjustment. Looks like I'm going to have to set down outside the city somewhere on repel array.
You don't sound very worried.
Should I be?
Well, you know your ship.
Commander, exactly what am I carrying aboard this ship? Why is everything so mysterious?
I'll explain it later, Craig.
I wish somebody would. All Space Control told me is that something was put aboard my ship by mistake, and that you'd meet me at Venus City Spaceport and supervise its removal.
We didn't want to cause you any undue alarm. The fact is, you've got something very dangerous aboard.
Explosives? Don't worry, I've hauled some pretty ticklish stuff in my day.
You've never hauled anything quite like what you have aboard now. Everything will be all right if you just set her down easy.
Okay, Commander. Look, right now I don't think I can get above that Torlock range. If I can get any power out of the rockets, I'll deflect a few degrees and head up the canyon.
Wow, he must be in a spot.
Do you have any rocket control at all?
A little. Enough to maneuver between those mountains.
All right, Craig. Good luck. We'll be watching. Corey out.
I hope he can reach a broad, level space to set her down.
I hope he does, too, Hap. Keep an eye on him through the view scope.
Yes, sir. Sir, why didn't you tell him he was hauling a wild meteor?
No sense wasting time explaining. He knows he has a problem.
Yeah, I guess you're right, sir. He made it, Commander. Yeah, he's headed up the canyon. I guess he's okay now.
Let's hope so.
Hey, his speed's dropped way down, sir. He's losing altitude.
Corey aboard Terra 5 calling Bill Craig.
Craig here, go ahead.
How you doing?
Canyon widens out into a valley beyond Crescent Dam. I think I'll be okay when I pass there.
All right, Craig. When you find a good spot, ease her down carefully.
Right, sir. Craig out.
Well, he's pretty cool about it, I'll say that.
He's a skilled spaceman, Happy. He's going to need all the skill he's got.
There's the dam up ahead.
He's getting awfully close to that canyon wall.
Yeah. He isn't going to clear the dam by more than a few... He hit the side of the hill.
His ship's skimming along that shoulder. If it'll only hold together.
Smoking rockets, Commander. I can't look. Did he hit the dam?
Not quite. It's a bad crack up. It broke the hull open. It's hanging over a rock halfway down the side of the canyon.
At least the meteor didn't explode.
The seal on the Endurium crate must have held fast. We'll set the ship down on that flat stretch on the other side of the dam and get to Craig as quickly as possible. Looks at that sky, there's an ammonia storm brewing.
I hope it holds off until we get Craig. Hey, this climbing is no cinch, Commander. This terrain is rough.
A few more feet and we'll be even with the top of the dam.
See anything yet, sir?
I can see part of the wreckage from here, but no sign of Craig. Come on, Hap, we've got to hurry.
Feel that wind. Wow, that storm is roaring down the canyon a mile a minute.
Better work fast, Happy.
Commander, look. Some of the cargo spilled out of the ship and rolled down into the water.
Yes. A lot of the crates have smashed open.
Hey, I hope the meteor didn't roll into the water.
That looks bad. The hull is smashed right near the pilot's compartment.
I hope Craig is all right.
Let's work our way down into the ship.
Commander, look. Isn't that a man down there at the edge of the water?
It's Craig. He must have been tossed out of the ship.
He sees us. He's waving.
He's hurt. Come on, hurry. Watch your step. It's steep through here. Happy, there's a ledge that slopes right down to the dam. A couple of crates stopped there.
Sir, it leads right up to that ladder on the dam, near the gate.
Now, let's head for it.
Sure lucky we trailed Craig into Venus instead of going on ahead to meet him at Venus City.
All right. Hey, look at that water level. There must be a flash flood up the canyon.
Smoking rockets.
It's nearly up to where Craig's lying. It's rising fast. You gotta get him out of there. Now take it easy climbing over that Endurium crate, Happy. That's the Meteor.
Hey, the seal's broken. The Meteor's part way out of the crate.
We're in luck. Fortunately, none of those pieces of machinery came in contact with it. All right, let's climb down the face of the dam. Watch that ladder. It's going to be slippery. Commander, we'll have you out of here in a few minutes, Craig. Here, Happy, help me lift him to his feet.
It's my right leg. I didn't mind the ship crashing, but bouncing down the mountain like a rubber ball was pretty rough.
Can you put any weight on that leg, Craig?
I'll try. I think I can make it.
All right, put your arms over our shoulders. Rest most of your weight on us.
How do we get him up over the dam, sir?
The tough part will be the ladder. From there on, we can work back up the ledge and zigzag to the top.
Yeah, I figure I can make it with a boost now and then.
All right, start up the ladder.
Okay. It's okay. I can make it.
Look at that water. It's rising fast.
A landslide. Press close to the dam. Keep your head down.
Smoking rockets. That was close.
Look at that. If you men hadn't come for me, I'd be buried under several tons of dirt right now.
Let's get out of here. There could be another landslide.
Commander, look up there. How are we going to get out? The landslide has swept away most of the ledge.
He's right. We can get as high as a sluice gate, but from then on, it's sheer wall.
Let's get up to what's left of the ledge. We'll be out of the water at least. All right, Craig, get on the ledge.
Okay. All clear.
Go ahead, Happy.
All right, sir. Here, I'll give you a hand.
Thanks.
Gee, look at the water now. It's halfway up the ladder.
Yeah, and look back up the canyon. It's streaming down at big waves.
Commander, do you think it'll come as high as the ledge?
Look at the watermark of previous floods. Comes this high because of the sluice gate.
Wow.
Even if the water doesn't come over the ledge, we're stuck here.
If that sluice gate were only open, we could go through the spillway to the other side of the dam. There's a ladder on that side, too. I saw it coming up.
How can we get it open?
We can't. The control machinery is at the top of the dam. It's operated by remote control from a station far down the valley.
Say, maybe they'll open the gate.
By that time, it won't do us any good. See that line painted 10 feet over the gate? The water has to reach that level before the flood warning sounds.
He's right, Happy.
Looks like I led you fellas into a trap. If I'd only managed to get the ship over the dam.
No, it isn't your fault, Craig.
Well, I suppose we might as well sit down on the crates and relax.
I'd be careful of my feet if I were you, Craig. Don't let the metal in your boot buckles hit that meteor.
Meteor? What are you talking about?
There's a meteor in that crate. That's what we were worried about. If certain metals touch it, they explode.
Craig, get off that crate.
Huh?
But quickly, Happy. Give me a hand with that meteor.
What do you mean, sir?
Let's get this meteor rolling down the slope of the ledge.
Into the water?
No, toward the dam. If it gets up enough speed, it might crash into that sluice gate.
Sure, but will it be going fast enough to knock that gate out?
Well, no, sir. Hey, Commander, that gate is solid steel.
Exactly.
Hey, solid steel, like the first power shovel scoop. Okay, Commander, I get it.
Craig, get over behind that other crate. If this works, there's going to be quite an explosion. Careful, Happy. Remove your cadet ring.
Yes, sir. It'd be a pretty painful way to find if the meteor has platinum in it. Hey, this thing is sure hard to move.
After we get it rolling, it won't be so bad. At least it's lighter here on Venus than it was on Earth. Watch your feet.
We've got it rolling, sir.
Quickly now. Get behind the Endurium crate.
Hope it doesn't wobble off into the water.
Craig, keep your head down.
Commander, it worked. There's a great big hole in the sluice gate.
Come on, let's get off this ledge into the spillway.
Yeah, let's get through before the water does.
Hey, Commander, can you see through the dam to the valley? There's our ship.
Now, that's a beautiful sight.
Commander, what about Professor King? What's he going to say?
I'm afraid the professor will have to be content with telling another story about the big one that got away.
An exciting preview of next week's thrilling Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. But first, gang, here's something that's more fun than anything you ever owned. Something that rates as the biggest value we have ever offered. Something new, different, exciting. I'm speaking of that wonderful new thrill, Space Patrol Space Binoculars. I call it a wonderful new thrill because this amazing piece of Space Patrol equipment makes it possible for you to see houses, buildings, cars, and people way off in the distance. Yes, sir, when you look through your Space Patrol Space Binoculars, you can see what's going on blocks and blocks away. And when you look through your Space Binoculars, you don't even have to hold them. No, sir, they have a strong elastic band that holds them snugly to your eyes. Makes you look like somebody from outer space, because when you wear your binoculars, they stand out from your eyes a full 3.5 inches. Now, that's right, I'm not talking about flimsy little goggles or a mask. I'm talking about real, honest-to-goodness 4-power binoculars with 4 pure lucite lenses. The real McCoy, in other words. Real binoculars. They're made of solid black plastic, and they have a bright red leather-like trimming that makes them look terrific. Overall, space binoculars are 5 inches wide, 5 inches long. And boy, oh boy, the fun you can have with them. You can see who's coming up the street. You can read signs way off in the distance. You can spot planes in the sky. And you can name the kinds of cars you see blocks and blocks away. And hey, when you look through the other end of your space binoculars, they smallify. Yes, sir, they do the opposite. Instead of making far-off things look close, they work the other way around. They make close things look far away. Lots of fun. Now, gang, to get a pair of these space binoculars, a pair exactly like Buzz Corey wears, do this. And, boy, you better do it quick because this offer soon ends. Just buy a box of Instant Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and an Instant Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686. St. Louis, Missouri. This offer good only in the USA and may be withdrawn at any time. Gang, if you don't think your space binoculars are tops, send them back and we'll return your money. The address again, Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are on the third moon of Jupiter in their spacesuits, attempting to pull Major Robertson out of a crevice into which he's fallen. Buzz has lowered Happy into the crevice where thousands of beetle-like insects are swarming, impervious to the cold and lack of atmosphere.
Lower me a couple more feet, sir. Doggone these bugs. That's it, sir. Loop the rope under the Major's arms, Happy. Just a minute, sir. Till I brush off some of these insects. Hey, some of them just won't brush off. They're awful. They're on my suit, too. Yes, and all over the Major's. Hey, Commander, they're eating through our spacesuits. We gotta get the Major out of there and get back to the ship. If these insects puncture our suits, we're finished.
Be sure to be with us next Saturday for the exciting story, The Moon Beetles, when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston again bring you Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. Space Patrol, an original Mike Moser production starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston and directed by Larry Robertson. Other players were Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, and Bela Kovac. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston again present the new exciting Space Patrol. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. Space Patrol comes to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy are on the third moon of Jupiter in their spacesuits, attempting to pull Major Robertson out of a crevice into which he has fallen. Buzz has lowered Happy into the crevice where thousands of beetle-like insects are swarming. Beetles that seem impervious to the cold and lack of atmosphere.
Just a couple more feet, sir. That's it, sir. Loop the rope under the Major's arms, Happy. Just a minute, sir. While I brush off some of these insects. Gee, some of them just won't brush off, sir. They're awful. They're in my suit, too. They're all over the Major's. Hey, Commander, they're eating through our spacesuits. We've got to get the Major out of there and get back to the ship. If these insects puncture our suits, we're finished.
We'll be back in just a moment with today's Space Patrol story, The Moon Beetles. The hour has struck. Yes, today is the last time we can offer you a pair of those wonderful new space binoculars that you can see way off in the distance with. Big 4-power plastic space binoculars. 5 inches wide, 5 inches long. Plenty big and plenty of fun. Gang, you can watch people blocks away, study birds in real tall trees, read signs way off in the distance, spot planes high in the sky, and listen, you wear space binoculars on your head. Yes, sir, a strong elastic band holds them snugly to your eyes, makes you look like a strange man from Mars, leaves your hands absolutely free. Yes, the hour has struck. Today is the last time we can offer you these terrific new Space Patrol space binoculars. To get a pair exactly like Buzz Corey wears, do this. Buy a box of Instant Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and an Instant Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. This offer good only in the USA and may be withdrawn at any time. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, today's Space Patrol story, The Moon Beetles. In their space battle cruiser, Terra 5, Buzz and Happy are approaching Jupiter's number 2 moon to investigate the mysterious failure of equipment in one of the automatic instrument stations. Their viewscope is trained on a surface of a cold, barren, airless satellite as Happy watches for the dome-shaped image of the atmosphere shell to reveal they're nearing the unmanned instrument station.
Jupiter's number 2 moon sure is a desolate place. Nothing but craters and mountains, and more craters and mountains. And they all look the same. I don't even recognize any landmarks.
And we should have brought Robbie along. He knows most of Jupiter's satellites the way you and I know the Earth's moon.
Speaking of Major Robertson, sir, I was a little surprised to find out he was meeting us on Jupiter.
Oh?
Well, I figured he'd be getting ready for the big day on Terra on the 3rd of the month. The Interplanetary Medal Award ceremony.
I hope we can all be there. We will if we don't run into serious trouble on this instrument failure investigation.
But, sir, doesn't the Major have to be there to receive the award?
Well, I was under the impression that the name of the person to receive the Interplanetary Medal was kept secret until the day of the ceremony. What makes you think Robbie's going to get it?
Well, I heard rumors.
Well, personally, I'd like to see Major Robertson get it, too. The final decision is up to the award committee. They aren't going to let the news out ahead of time. We're getting close to the instrument station, Happy. See those 2 cone-shaped peaks at the edge of that broad, shallow crater?
Yes, sir.
The instrument station is right between those peaks. Well, that's funny.
What's that, Commander?
The small atmosphere shell should be visible now.
Maybe the sunlight's hitting it at the wrong angle.
It should still show up on the viewscope. Happy, the shell's gone.
Huh?
Switch the spacephone receiver to the ultra-high frequency automatic instrument channel and see if any signals are getting out.
Yes, sir. Well, this is the right channel, sir.
Some of the instruments are still sending, but I can't understand what happened to that atmosphere dome.
Maybe a meteor hit it.
If it came in at a tangent, it might break the shell without damaging all the instruments. Get our spacesuits, Happy. While I set the ship down, we'll make an on-the-spot check.
There are the instruments, sir. They don't seem to be damaged. The dome's foundations intact. So are the double hatches to the airlock. The metal framework and the gates are still standing. Happy, I'm afraid your meteor theory is out. But if it came in almost parallel to the surface of the moon and hit the shell... There would still be fragments
shells scattered all over the area. Take a look. The ground all around is perfectly clean.
Wow, the shell must have been completely disintegrated.
That would put most of the instruments out of commission, even those that were picking up cosmic radiation through the receptors outside the shell. It's very strange, Happy. Cut off the atmosphere plant. We'll get back to the ship and blast off.
Yes, sir.
I'll spacephone Robbie and ask him to meet us in Shargon instead of Jupiter City.
Well, isn't that just south of Jupiter City?
Yes, it's a technological center. It's where Dr. William Conrad receives and analyzes the data transmitted from these instrument stations on the different moons.
I wonder how he'll analyze the fact that a whole atmosphere.
Are you saying there weren't even any fragments of the atmosphere shell?
That's right, Robbie. The whole thing just disappeared.
And none of the instruments were physically damaged?
No, Doctor. Some of them stopped transmitting because of the cold.
It's really got us puzzled, Dr. Conrad. What do you think could have happened?
Well, Happy, I won't even speculate until a thorough investigation is made.
Well, at the moment, Doctor, I feel this is a job for the security section. Robbie, get a lab ship and blast off for moon number 2.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to go with the Major, Commander?
You'll be needed here in Shargon, Doctor. You've got to evaluate the data from the other moon centers.
I'll keep in contact with you from number 2 moon and give you any information I can gather.
Good. Robbie, I'll leave the investigation in your hands. Happy and I'll go to our temporary quarters and get some rest.
I can use a little sleep.
I'll call you first thing in the morning, Dr. Conrad. Come on, Happy.
Sleep is the next
Happy. Happy, wake up.
Oh, Commander, what time is it?
6:05 hours Universal Star Time. Are you going to sleep all day?
Oh, stop it, Jupiter. I plan to be awake before you, sir. Say, are you sure it's 6:05?
Look at your watch.
Yeah, but it's still dark outside. That's why I left the shade up, figuring the sun would wake me up.
Yes, I noticed how dark it was. Maybe we're having an eclipse of the sun. They're fairly frequent on Jupiter with 12 moons in the sky.
I'm sure I should have thought of that. Have you talked to Dr. Conrad?
I phoned his lab, but wasn't able to reach him.
Maybe he overslept, too. From the sound of things outside, it sounds like the middle of the day. Come here and look, sir. The streets are full of people. These Shargon citizens must be early risers, or else they got up to see the eclipse.
The eclipse here wouldn't cause that much excitement.
What do you know? The lights are on, all over the city.
Well, that must be Dr. Conrad. I told the charge of quarters to put the call in here. Corey speaking.
Commander, this is Dr. Conrad.
Oh, yes, Doctor. I've already called your lab.
I'm not at the laboratory. I'm at the spaceport. Can you come over?
Is something wrong?
Haven't you noticed the darkness?
Yes. The 4 biggest moons must be eclipsing the sun all at once.
This is no eclipse, Commander. The Shargon atmosphere shell is completely covered with insects.
Insects?
Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. They're blanketing the entire dome. Billions of them. Space Control isn't letting any ship in or out of the space lots. They're afraid the insects will swarm into the city.
Doctor, where are you now?
I'm in the Spaceport Master's office.
I'll be right over.
I'm ready, Commander.
Then let's go. Well, here's the office, Captain.
Commander, I expected you sooner. I was beginning to get worried.
We were tied up in traffic, Doctor. People are running around almost in a panic.
Well, I can't say I blame them. It's not exactly reassuring to know you're under a roof of billions of living insects.
I didn't think Jupiter had that many insects. Where did they all come from?
We don't know. One spaceship came through the logs just at dawn. The pilot said the insects are like a shiny black sea all around the atmosphere dome. I've got a few specimens here, Commander, in these 2 small plastic boxes.
Let's have a look at them.
Hundreds of insects were drawn through the space lock when the ship entered. That's why Space Control closed the port.
Smoke and rockets, look at the size of them. They must be about 2 inches long.
They seem to be some sort of beetle. I don't recognize them.
Well, I showed them to a friend of mine in the communication section, an amateur entomologist. He says he's never seen anything like them before on any planet.
Very strange. Entirely new variety of insects appearing by the billions, and here on Jupiter, of all places.
Hey, one of the bugs got loose. He's crawling across the desk.
Take the lid off the box, Happy?
No, sir. Look, the lid is still on it.
Then how did it get out?
Listen, what's that?
Warning signal. Yellow alert.
Yellow alert. Something must be wrong with the city's atmosphere plant.
Happy, quickly. Close all the windows airtight. Doctor, cut on the emergency air vents.
What could be the matter?
That signal means the air outside this building isn't fit to breathe. Check the Polaroid windows.
All the windows are closed tight, sir.
Airtight. Good.
Emergency air vent on, Commander. We're all right for the time being.
Yes, Doctor, but those people out in the streets, if they don't get inside a building with emergency air supply, they're in trouble. I'll get it. Quartermaster's office. Oh, he isn't here. This is Commander Corey of the Space Patrol. I see. Yes, Captain, your procedure's correct. Right, Corey out. That was the Atmosphere Control Center. The yellow alert was sounded because the detectives registered a high methane gas content in the air.
Methane?
You mean there's a leak in the atmosphere shell?
More than a leak, a serious break.
What happened?
Look at this plastic box, Doctor.
There is a hole in it.
Exactly. That beetle ate through the plastic box. And above us, there are billions of insects eating their way through the plastic atmosphere shell.
We'll be back with Space Patrol in just a moment. Presenting the mystery of the baffling basketball player. Sometimes this 10-year-old boy would be a sharpshooter. He'd make basket after basket after basket. But then, at other times, ouch, he'd miss shot after shot. And so it went. Sometimes a shooting star, sometimes a falling star. Here was the trouble. This boy was only getting supercharged now and then. On some mornings, he'd have a power breakfast with rice checks or wheat checks, the super cereals that help to supercharge you. That's when he'd really shoot those baskets. But then, at other times, well, he'd just eat any old breakfast. And that's when they'd call him Fumbler. So, gang, remember, to be a winner every day, you have to get supercharged every day. In other words, enjoy that rice checks and wheat checks in your cupboard all the time, not just some of the time. Make it a rule to do what Buzz Corey does. Eat a power breakfast with rice checks or wheat checks every single day. The bite-sized super cereals that help to supercharge you. Delicious checks. And now back to our Space Patrol story, The Moon Beetles. The city of Shargan on the planet Jupiter is perilled by a vast swarm of strange insects that completely cover the atmosphere shell. These beetle-like insects are gnawing through the thick plastic of the transparent dome over the city, and now the air is contaminated with the harmful gases that compose Jupiter's atmosphere. Buzz, Happy, and Dr. William Conrad have rushed to the atmosphere washing plant, while Major Robertson, at the commander's order, is at the spaceport, ready to lead an exterminator's squadron. Happy and the doctor are standing before the giant motors that force the atmosphere through chemical filters and purifiers, waiting for Buzz to return from the office of the chief air control engineer.
Oh, the engineers just cut on another auxiliary motor.
That's the last one. The plant's working at full capacity.
Yeah, but so are those bugs. Oh, here's the commander.
Commander, what did the chief engineer say?
Oh, it's a losing battle. You just can't build up enough pressure inside the shell to equal the heavy Jupiter atmosphere pressure on the outside. Unless those insects are stopped, pretty soon big chunks of the dome will fall in on the city. They could plunge right through the roof.
Well, do you think that DB12X insecticide will kill the bugs, Commander?
I don't know. And if I give Robbie the order to take the exterminator squadron outside the shell, that insecticide will contaminate the entire city.
You mean it's harmful to human beings?
Definitely.
But don't you think it's worth the risk, Commander? If the dome collapses...
Oh, you're right, Doctor. There's no time to waste. We'll broadcast a warning for everyone to keep off the streets and to seal their doors and windows. Then we'll go back to Space Patrol headquarters, and I'll tell Robbie to take the squadron up.
Commander, the streets have been completely cleared, and the Major and the squadron have been spraying the outside of the dome for 20 minutes. The DB12X ought to be showing some results.
If it's going to work. I'll contact Robbie. Commander Corey at Shargan Space Patrol headquarters calling Major Robertson aboard Space Patrol cruiser J571. Corey to Major Robertson.
Robertson here. Go ahead, Commander.
Is it working, Robbie?
All 8 ships have made 10 passes with the insecticide, Commander. The insects are saturated with the stuff. It doesn't seem to phase them.
We've got to find something that's effective and find it quickly.
Well, heat might do it. We can get enough ships with atomic flame ejectors and play them over the dome.
There aren't any on Jupiter. What about trying ultrasonic vibrations?
That's it. That'll do it, Commander.
Dr. Conrad, you know of a lab ship here in Chargon that's got an ultrasonic generator in it?
Oh, yes, Commander. There is one at the spaceport.
Good. Robbie, order the squadron to return to base, but you stay aloft. Happy, Dr. Conrad and I will get the lab ship and blast off immediately.
Lab ship secured for blastoff, Commander.
All right, Hap, I'll notify Space Control. Commander Corey and lab ship X-211 in Area 28, calling Space Control Chargon.
Space Control Chargon, go ahead.
We're ready for blastoff.
You may blast off at will, sir. Space Control out.
Stand by to fire rockets, Happy.
Standing by, sir.
Ready, Doctor?
Yes, Commander.
Fire rockets.
Here come the locks, sir.
Reduce power and we'll circle back to the dome.
What a sight. The dome is black with those insects.
I hope this ultrasonic generator does the trick. I'd hate the idea of going back down through that roof of Beetles.
Dr. Conrad, will you operate the generator?
Of course, Commander.
That must be the Major's ship off on our starboard viewport.
Right. Corey aboard lab ship X-211, calling Major Robertson.
Robertson here. Go ahead, sir.
We're going to make a head-on pass at the dome, Robbie.
Good hunting.
All right, Doctor. Turn on the generator.
I've set it at 1,000,000 cycles, Commander. That frequency should be fatal to most insects.
Give it plenty of power.
Yes, Commander.
Here we go, right over the dome. Happy, set the viewscope to high magnification.
Yes, sir.
We'll circle back and make another pass.
How's the viewscope setting, sir?
Fine. You can see the insects quite clearly.
They don't seem to be affected by the vibration. Shall I increase the frequency?
Oh, wait. Look, they're dropping off the dome.
Hey, they sure are. Sliding off by the thousands.
It's working, Commander. Sides of the dome are nearly clear.
Would you look at that? They're sliding off like a black avalanche.
We'll make a couple more passes just to make sure we've got them all.
Look at how they're heaping up around the base of the atmosphere shell. It's going to be some job clearing them away.
The first problem is to get a crew to work sealing up those holes in the dome.
Commander, this is Robbie.
Yes, Robbie?
More trouble. I just got word that there's a plague of those beetles on moon number 3. They've attacked the small atmosphere shell over the research station. That could disrupt the entire interplanetary communications system, to say nothing of ruining all space flight aid stations.
Hey, we'd better get out there with the ultrasonic generator.
It wouldn't work on that moon, Happy. There's no atmosphere to transmit the high-frequency sound of the insects. They've got to be brought under control.
Smoking rockets.
Well, there are 100 men in that station. They can't even be evacuated because they can't open the space locks.
What's wrong with the power unit?
Communications picked up automatic signals that indicate a relay didn't work. If somebody could get there, get inside the power unit shell, and flip that switch, the research station would have power restored.
But how about the insects?
Doctor, the new Delta Ray, would that destroy the insects?
Yes, but it has to be focused so that the rays wouldn't penetrate the shell, or it would destroy the men inside, too.
Is there a Delta Ray here in Chargon?
No, the nearest one is in Jupiter City.
Robbie, you blast off for moon number 3 and get that power on. Happy and I'll go to Jupiter City for the Delta Ray and join you on the moon at the research station. There's the research station, Happy. We'll cut our speed and circle.
I'll get the Delta Ray ready.
Now, don't turn it on till I give you the word. Got to be sure of our focusing range.
Yes, sir. Wow, look at that dome. Just like the one at Chargon. Covered with beetles.
Well, there's Robbie's ship near the dome.
Wonder if the Major's got the power on yet.
I don't think so, or we'd be hearing from him.
Just look at those insects all around the station.
At least they aren't attacking the power unit dome.
Major Robertson calling Commander Corey aboard Terra 5. Major Robertson calling Commander Corey.
Corey here. Where are you, Robbie?
In a pretty tight spot, Commander. Did you get the Delta Ray?
What's the trouble?
I was in my spacesuit walking toward the power unit shell when these confounded beetles attacked me. Rolled all over me. Trying to beat them off, I fell into a crevice near the power shell and I'm wedged in.
We'll land and pull you out.
I don't want to rush you, but these insects are eating my spacesuit. I managed to brush them off the plastic face piece, but they're all over me. Any minute now, they're going to puncture the suit.
We'll set the ship down right away. Happy, get out our spacesuits and some rope.
There he is, Commander. He's really wedged in.
Look at those beetles. There are hundreds of them down in the crevice and all over him. Robbie, can you read me? Yes, sir. You're going to drop your rope. Grab it. Go ahead, Hap.
Catch, Major.
All right, hang on. We'll pull you up.
Hey, it slipped out of his hand.
Robbie, can't you hang on? I haven't got any strength. Are you hurt? It's my leg. I'm beginning to feel pain. Losing air. But this is no time to pass out. If that suit is punctured, you're finished. Robbie. Robbie.
Commander, I'd better go down there and tie the rope around him.
No, you might get caught, too. I'll go down.
Commander, you could pull the Major and me out, but, well, I'm not sure I could pull both of you out.
No, Happy, it's too dangerous.
Please, sir, let me go. It's the only way to save Major Robertson. And don't forget the men in the station.
You may be right. Here, take the rope. I'll lead you down.
Yes, sir. Well, lower away.
Now, hang on, Happy. That's it.
A couple more feet, sir. Okay, hold it. I'm looping the rope around the Major's arm. Help me if you can, Major.
All right, Happy. You ready, Hap?
Just a minute, sir. I'm going to brush off some of these beetles. One of them burrowed in nearly through my suit. Okay, pull.
Now hang on to Robbie.
He's wedged in pretty tight.
Oh, my leg.
He's loose now, Commander. Haul us up.
Okay.
Commander, your face piece. There are beetles swarming all over it.
I can't brush them off now.
But they'll eat through the plastic.
I can't let go of the rope till you and Robbie are out of there.
We're nearly to the top. That does it. Better take the Major, sir. He's in pretty bad shape.
All right, Hap. Clean off your face piece. A beetle is half buried in it. They're all over you.
Yeah, I know. They're all over you, too, sir.
Get to the ship quickly. We'll peel out of these spacesuits in the airlock and then turn the delta ray on the research station shell.
I guess we'll have to carry the Major, sir.
All right, Happy. Come on. You've got to hurry.
The delta ray is focused, Happy. Give it another charge.
Hey, it's working. The beetles are dropping off the shell like flies.
Well, this ray works better than the ultrasonic generator. See that, Robbie?
Yeah, really shriveling them up. How's your leg? A little better. Good.
As we wipe out the beetles, we'll land and turn the power unit on.
Hey, if we can clean this up and blast off for Terra pretty soon, we'll be able to get the Major back for the Interplanetary Award ceremony.
Funny, I almost forgot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Go on up, Major. The commander's ready to give you the medal.
Quiet, Happy. The commander's going to speak.
Fellow citizens of the United Planets, it's my privilege and honor as last year's recipient of the Interplanetary Award to present this symbol of courage and service to the current winner. It's a special source of pride to me because the award goes to a member of my own space patrol.
Major, the commander's looking this way. He wants you to go up.
The choice this year was a difficult one for the committee, and the person chosen by them has declined the honor.
But, Major, I
Quiet, Hap. The commander's speaking.
Yes, the selected candidate, Major Robertson, Security Chief of the Space Patrol, feels that the Interplanetary Award should go to the man who risked his own life to save another, and thereby help save the lives of 100 men. So, in a special session, the committee accepted the Major's suggestion, and I shall now present the Interplanetary Award to a member of the Corps of Cadets, Cadet Happy.
Huh? Me? But
Go on, Happy. Get up there. Hey, Happy. Hap!
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll have to ask Major Robertson to accept the award for Cadet Happy. It seems the courageous winner of the Interplanetary Award has just fainted.
An exciting preview of next week's thrilling Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. But first, gang, here it is. Here's the only way to get a pair of Space Patrol space binoculars. Now, all you do is... here's a radio ray from Terra.
Boys and girls, this is your commander, and I have a message for you that's so important I've interrupted Dick Tufeld. Here's my message. Today is positively the last time we can offer you a pair of official space binoculars. This is the greatest offer we've ever made, and it's one item I feel that every one of you should have. Although thousands and thousands of boys and girls now have their space binoculars, I know for a fact that many of you have still not sent in. So don't wait. This is important and vital. Send in today for your Space Patrol space binoculars. This is absolutely the last time we can make this sensational offer. Hurry out.
Thank you, Commander. And boys and girls, remember this. These are not flimsy goggles. They're real, full-size, full-field, 4-power binoculars made of long-lasting plastic. Real, full-size, full-field, 4-power binoculars that make everything in the distance look bigger, closer, clearer. The revolutionary new binoculars you wear on your head. Thrills and fun galore. You can identify buildings way off in the distance, spot planes, study birds, watch far-off traffic, read distant signs, and do lots and lots of other things with your space binoculars all year long. Now, to get a pair, buy a box of Instant Ralston. Then, with your name and address, send 25 cents in coin and an Instant Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. If you don't agree your binoculars are tops, return them and we'll return your money. That's Space Patrol, Box 686, St. Louis, Missouri. And now, an exciting preview of next week's thrilling Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy have just left Terra 5 to enter a damaged spaceship far out beyond the Pluto orbit. They've entered the wrecked ship in their spacesuits to rescue 2 unconscious men. Around the ship, huge chunks of metal hurtle through space on an unknown orbit.
We'll have to carry them, Happy. You take this one, I'll handle the big fellow. Yes, sir.
Hey, Commander, the ships are swerving right into that stream of metal fragments.
I thought I set the controls to keep pace with them. Hap, those fragments aren't going in a straight line. They're in a swirling motion like a whirlpool.
Hey, Commander, they're battering the ship to pieces. They're breaking us up.
We gotta get these men inside, quickly. Before the fragments hook to the ship. Or we're finished, all of us.
Be sure to be with us next Saturday for the exciting story, The Strange Gift of the New Star, when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston again bring you Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Visions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! Space Patrol, an original Mike Moser production starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston and directed by Larry Robertson. Other players were Ken Mayer and Bela Kovach. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston again present the new exciting Space Patrol! Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC TV station. Consult your paper for time and channel. Space Patrol comes to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.